Money, 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 motherfucker. Okay. Tennessee slaps BlackRock with first of its kind consumer protection lawsuit over ESG sham. Now, we all know that ESG shit was never about the money and it was only ever about the message, the narrative, the thought control. But Tennessee has elected to come at this from a novel position, which is one I kind of figured was the inevitable result, would be they're attacking BlackRock specifically because there are legal requirements when it comes to investing, specifically for publicly traded companies. The company is legally required to operate in the best interest of the shareholders. That is to say, it is in their best interest to make money, not burn it, light it, and burn it on fire. Not dump fuel on it and burn it. I can talk. So it looks like they're going BlackRock with this here for their them not being legally not doing their due diligence is what it comes down to. They're going at them for not doing their due diligence. And I am all for this. It's specifically like in August 2022, 19 GOP state attorney generals wrote to Larry Fink, aka the head guy for BlackRock, informing him that proxy voting to advance ESG violated their laws governing pecuniary duties. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Pecuniary. 10 states passed rules making it clear that such proxy voting is a breach of pecuniary duty. Republican state treasurers have pulled billions of dollars from BlackRock in the last year as ESG investments come under fire. Fink recently had to drop the term ESG because of blowback. And this is gonna continue because here's the thing. It's the same thing with communists. Communism works up until you run out of other people's money, and this ESG crap is just another flavor of that. There, so they couldn't run this. As with all scams, you can't run it forever. Eventually, it falls apart, and it's pushback like this here is showing that it's falling apart. And goddamn, about time. Okay, this is not really anything new for us in the VTuber sphere. Technology companies brag about pornification of AI girlfriends. I don't know what I can really say. We've seen this with the girlfriend experience shit and stuff, but this is specifically towards a AI business models. Like the Blade Runner 2, uh, you know, girlfriend shit and stuff. This is what it's leading towards and stuff. And of course, the normies and businesses are kind of just like, okay, this might be a thing. Should probably get on the ground floor on it. Eh, eh. I don't know. I don't know if I buy. At the end of the day, I don't know if I buy the whole blue. Like I know there's a lot of lonely guys and girls out there who could use this as a how do I put this, false sense of security. No, it's not really security, but like a false I don't know, fake replacement for actual human contact and shit like that. Like the Coomers are going to do what Coomers do, but I'm thinking in terms of replacing legitimate relationships and stuff. Whether that there comes to pass, I don't know. And hopefully I'll be dead by then. We are literally on the AA waifus right now. Literally it. I don't know. I don't really got much. I don't really got much skin in this game, either physical or digital skin, because I am a isolationist, introverted sociopath. So I really don't care about any of this. If you want human civilization to just, rot away, you do you. I really don't care. It comes out with like some statistic, like the number of children per woman has decreased by more than 50% in 60 years. That goes for like all developed nations. Like every developed nation on the planet right now is having a population crisis because the legalized Ponzi scheme that is pension are inverted right now, and the scheme is falling apart. I'm under no illusion that I'll ever see my pension from the government. That is, I'm just keeping one eye on Proctor's the Discord because shit's getting stupid right now. And it's just entertaining. Uh, okay, so all right, so this got pointed out. I heard it like a million places. Federal judges order documents naming Jeffrey Epstein's associates to be unsealed. I am imagining that everyone involved with this order to unseal the document are going to meet with an unfortunate accident. Just I just call it a hunch. Call it a hunch that the CIA award for ethics and journalism is probably going to be awarded to many people in the foreseeable future. I don't know. I know how this is going to turn out. You know how this is going to turn out. This is when we start seeing the body count. None of us will really be surprised. Sorry, body count number one. Oh, this shit. Okay. Achieving equity through mediocrity, Chicago moves to eliminate high achieving school programs. Slipping, falling on standing knife is an epidemic these days. Yeah. Here's the thing with the CIA award for ethics and journalism stuff. They got to get a little more creative. Go big or go home. Just like say like a person in question is visiting a zoo, and suddenly there's no apparent reason the lion is outside of its pen. Just saying, just make a spectacle of it. Okay, achieving equity through mediocrity, Chicago moves to eliminate high achieving school programs. So Chicago is being Chicago in that they're being retarded, more so literally than ever in this case. So what they are looking to do is they are looking to balance the books by instead of raising the lower achieving students, that is to say, literacy rates, math and science scores, instead of raising the low end of the scale, they're looking to cut out entirely the upper end that makes the lower end look bad. So yes, you are going to raise the average, but your hamstring again, like they know what they're doing. Like this is all by design. Like disenfranchise all the smart kids and just bump up the dumbasses and push them through the system and they graduate not knowing how to read and write. Like I worked with people who were illiterate. Okay? Like this is a thing. Like the system will push through dumbasses just to maintain their funding. And that hurts everyone involved, especially society at large, which is what the commies all praise about. It's like, oh, the society, the community and stuff. I was like, motherfucker, you're lowering property values. Fuck. Let's see. Like the purpose of public ed is not to teach kids what parents want, is to teach them what society needs to know. The client is not the parent, but the community. It's like you don't own your kids, we do. Shit like that. If parents want to have a say in their child's education, they should homeschool or pay for private school tuition out of the family budget. It's like they're not even hiding it. That's the thing. They're not even hiding this shit anymore. Let them die. Don't let these uncomfortable people deter us from our bold march forward. Whatever you say there, Mao. Or in this case, Pol Pot. Because fuck the academics and fuck the educated. If you wear glasses, you're getting a bullet. These, that's what these fuckers are. Pol Pot. This is America. This is Cambodia. As parents have a choice, these teachers lose. Yeah. Here's like how you defeat these people. Once parents have a choice, these teachers lose a virtual monopoly over many families, and these districts could lose billions in states like Florida. Because, you know, when the parents that want their kids to do good pull their kids out of these districts and stuff, those districts lose money. Because that's all it ever comes down to. Like, these people only understand two things: getting smacked in the teeth and getting smacked in their pocketbook. Fuck these communists. Fuck, I hate them. I hate commies so much. Ugh. A preemptive strike against an Orwellian future. What was this one? Ah, yes. Okay. So this is a very good essay on the concept of cryptography. In that, historically, the powers that be, aka the government, wanted to control end-to-end encryption because end-to-end encryption cuts into their ability to control information. That is to say, control people. Literal 1984 shit and stuff. And the guy who put out the first white paper on end-to-end encryption, well, not really end-to-end encryption, but like cryptography in general and stuff, but which led to end-to-end encryption, which for this essay ends with crypto coin block in the blockchain model. But the first guy who got the word out in academia for this being a thing, he literally got death threats from the CIA. Like, the CIA desperately wanted to give him the CIA award for ethics and journalism. They really wanted to get this guy. But this guy was smart in that he literally printed out his thesis and gave it to all of his friends and said, "Look, if I drop dead, you spread this to the four corners of the earth." And thankfully, he didn't get whacked. And what they ended up doing was actually, where is this specifically? Because this here really amused me. Yeah. So what these guys ended up doing was hilarious. What they did was they actually printed out all this stuff, and like all these like ciphers and like, encryption codes and whatnot. And they published them in university libraries, and they also printed them on T-shirts. But the more important, the T-shirt one was funny, but the more important part was printing out in library books. In that, if the government were to ban those books in a public library, that would draw attention to the issue, and they didn't want that. So they pretty much, the powers that be, had their hands tied. So effectively, the genie got out of the bottle in this case, and through all the developments over the decades and stuff, we ended up with stuff like end-to-end encryption and the blockchain model and stuff. And it's because of giga chads, literal giga chads like these guys who just said, fuck the system, fuck you, live free or die. And I just like the portmanteau word that they came up with to describe them. It's like cipher, as in the encryption, and punks, because punks, fuck the government. These cypherpunks' victory in the crypto wars opened the door to many new disruptive technologies, including Bitcoin. And I don't know. this here essay is a good read because it's a feel good history story. It's because of, like, Giga Chads like these guys who are say who will stand their ground and say, no, I am not going to roll over. I'm not going to play dead. Fuck you. And the world is better off for guys like this. uh, and that was your white pill for today. So now back to black pill shit. Okay. Psychiatrist from Gender Clinic warns gender affirming care will lead to mass sterilization. No shit. It's almost like a lot of this stuff is by design. Because like we joke with the Troon Shines shit in the grooming for sex slaves aspect. We joke about that all the time because that is the case. That is a factor, but it is not the only factor when it comes to the Troon epidemic and stuff. It's also because the powers that be want to curb carbon, and the carbon they want to curb is you. So instead of mass eugenics and mass sterilizations and stuff, well, they're gonna go ahead and do it anyway, but they're gonna do via shit like this. Pump those kids full of hormones, cut off their dick, and they're gonna be cancer ridden, and at the end result for this here in particular, they're gonna be sterile. So mission accomplished. And of course, this guy here, writing this report, an article, he was part of the system, and then he bailed because of how evil that shit was, and he was just like, it's like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But when he got nowhere, he was just like, ah, fuck it, I'm out. I'm going to be an advocate. I'm going to be an advocate for a think tank group. You know, fuck the NHS. And he's giving like a lot of examples of shit he saw while at work and stuff. Like no oversight and diagnosis for gender dysphoria. Of course, most of it's not. Most of it's trans trending, and Kershay made this joke, and this is like the word that's making arounds, the trans housing by proxy. Parents wanting to go, oh, look at me, I'm such a good progressive parent and stuff. My kid's trooning out because it's not good enough to be gay anymore, so they have to troon out. And of course, they child abuse their kids for ass pats and social media and shit like that, which is evil and vile. And there's a special place in hell for these people. And he was horrified by what he saw. Things didn't change after he left. No, no shit. But eh, times are changing. The pendulum is swinging. It's gonna swing back, and it's gonna swing hard. And if this here doesn't make people pissed off and want to go out for blood, then we're done as a species. This bitch. All right, Christopher F. Rufo exposes Claudine Gay's DEI empire. So Claudine Gay, aka this bitch, who is the president at Harvard and who got there because of for being a diversity hire and lying, cheating, and stealing on all of her quote unquote research papers, which she plagiarized almost half of them. But this guy is kind of doing a breakdown of how she weaseled her way into the system and subverted. Communists will do what communists do, and gay president, gay news. Yep. Commies will do what they do, and they'll subvert the system and break it down from the inside out. And it's just she got in around the George Floyd time. She wanted to get rid of anything whitey, either statues, the statues' names, paint 700 whatever, like signatory letter was out in defense of her and stuff. But when the donators start pulling out hundreds of millions of dollars and stuff, I'm pretty sure the board of directors for Harvard are going to start singing a different tune in the due time. But the problem is when they get rid of her, she's probably going to scream like, "Oh, racism! Oh," and shit like that. So Either way, how it turns out, I'm probably going to be entertained. I'm getting blue balled right now for it to come to pass. Like, come on, Merchants Guild, pull out them shekels. Oh, what's this? Okay, so I've been following this story for since it first came out. So TLDR on this year, the CPP has a lot of black sites in international places. In this particular case, they had a biolab in the Bay Area, and they had like a lot of nasty shit. A lot of nasty shit, including like COVID-19, Ebola, shit like that. And of course, China being Chinese are going to do what Chinese do, in that they're going to be utterly incompetent at everything they do and have like unmarked vials, like no safety protocols. And it's just like, Tom Clancy level shit. Let's see, further details behind the black market biolab discovered in California. Uh, there's not very much. There's not really much new in this here, other than giving an update, and that what they did is they did a catfish slash honeypot to get the CEO, president, whatever, like the owner, like the guy who owns this property and ran this operation stuff. What they did is they did a sting to get him to show up, and they got him in jail now, and they're gonna drum him up on a shit ton, and I mean a shit ton of charges, because illegal biolab in America, not owned by the CIA. It's like, fuck you, that's our job. But I digress. Like blah blah blah, just building a case for this being the guy, like his picture being on the websites for the companies and stuff, and like giving a little history of where he came from. His parents were a piece of work too, yada yada. But it's because of shit like this, like fucking boxes everywhere, unlabeled, unsecure containment vessels for these biohazard materials, and like the investigator in charge of the area was getting the runaround from the CDC, because like, okay, do we turn off the power? But if we turn off the power, things will thaw and start to rot. And it's like looking for guidance on what to do, and got the runarounds, like really like insane shit. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if they'll get him with anything that'll stick, or I don't know. Maybe he'll get the Hunter Biden treatment, and they'll drum up charges on like tax evasion or something. Because Lord knows they're not going to get him on like bioweapon trafficking and development. Okay, this here shit's kind of infuriating too. Major pharmacy chains handing over patient records to law enforcement without warrants. Now we know banks do this all the time. We know like Amazon, Facebook do this all the time. But like, it's kind of scary. It's scary, but not surprising to hear this also happening with healthcare service providers, and that all the powers that be have to do is just like give me your information. They'll be like, okay, sir, here you go. Like no warrant, no nothing. And of course, there's all the usual suspects when it comes to the United States. CVS, Kroger, Rite Aid. There's like no consumer protection on this here shit. I don't know, not really much to say about it and stuff. It's just depressing to see, but not surprising. But it needs to be said that the shit like this is going on. Like, none of your information is secure. None of your information is sacrosanct. You are a number. You're profit to these people. They don't care. Oh, this one. Okay. Police file hate incident against conservative MP for sharing post describing trans person as man in a wig. Of course, this is UK, but let's be real, it's happening everywhere at this point. UK police have recorded a non crime hate incident against a conservative member of parliament after she merely shared a Twitter post to describe a trans person as man in the wig. I don't know about you. That looks like a man in a wig. It looks like a troon. It reads like a troon. It grooms like a troon. Probably a troon. And the MP getting crucified and questioned as Rachel McLean. Third post commenting, while Greens don't know what a woman is, my Worcestershire neighbors, the people of Bromsgrove. What is it with the UK names? Certainly do. So subsequently, Melissa Poulton, air quotes on this one, complained to police about it, accusing McLean of transphobia and prompting the action which will see the MP's name kept on police records. Because that's what these people do, is when they get a little bit of pushback, they go crying to daddy government, even when it's happening within daddy government. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but it's just like, just look at that mug. Fuck. Uh, yeah, it's always kind of fun. It's always kind of funny. It's like the women's shelters. Anytime they say boo about a tranny that comes in, it's just like, okay, women are legitimately second class citizens. Glad to see that nothing's changed in several centuries. Women are, by law now, second class citizens. Ain't the modern world grand? Eh, I don't know. Clown world gonna clown. Okay, this gave me a chuckle. Cry victim. Chicago mayor rages over buses of immigrants from Texas. So this has been happening for a while, and I've covered it several times. But the long and short of it is that the American, like all borders, are Swiss cheese right now. Specifically, the American southern border is Swiss cheese, and all the Republican politicians in said areas are just like, all right, fuck it. You want to be a sanctuary city? You want open borders? Here you go. And they've been shipping migrants up to these democratic cities, which immediately start pissing and moaning the instant is like, oh shit, it's in my backyard now. Who could have foreseen this here? It's it. The consequences of my own actions have come back to haunt me. Funny how that works. Let's see. I know we've seen this shit before, but actually, I am particularly fond of this paragraph. The plan doesn't really work, though. If all these illegals are bussed out of red states or red counties and into predominantly blue regions of the nation, if the Democrats can't destabilize red states or turn those states blue, then the immigrants are of no use to them. In fact, immigrants become a millstone, dragging blue cities and states down into economic debt. And I've always known this here, but it's kind of refreshing to see someone point it out and stuff. In that the hope of the economic migrants is to turn the red states blue. But if the red states kick them out and bus them to the blue states, then it was all for nothing. And the Democrat cities go down the shitter. It is beautiful. It almost brings a tear to my eye. They let them in the blue states, so they become red states to IQ move. Well, again, a lot of this shit is by design, and you think it would work on hypothetically, like theoretically, it should work on paper and stuff, but then the reality sets in where the Republicans are just like, we're just gonna get rid of them, simple as. Oh, Tums. Don't call it a grave. Okay. Uh, Tesla wannabe EV names have run out of cash as SPAC craze bubble burst. So I knew that. Mm, stuffy. Okay, so I've seen this coming for years to this point, that the electronic vehicle bubble is a that's what it is. It is a bubble, and the bubble was inevitably going to burst. It's actually burst a lot sooner than I figured it would, but it's refreshing to see. And of course, all these EV companies that wanted to ride the coattails of Tesla are being, like, either not coming to market or being pushed out of the market and just crashing and burning. And man, it does add warmth to my cold black heart to see this shit just like sudden but inevitable self implosion. It's great. Yeah, like of 43 EV and battery companies that went public between 2020 and 2022, five have either filed for bankruptcy or have been acquired. It's just like, so refreshing. Burning part, sometimes literally. Yeah, yeah. Actually, a few years ago, I did see a lithium ion battery fire. It was like a really small one. I forget what it was. It was some tool. It was some battery tool. Actually, I think it might have been a lithium ion pack of a Dremel or something. But you know, the fire didn't spread. It was small, but there was no way to put it out. So it was just like, okay, just make sure it doesn't spread and just let it burn itself out. But just imagine that there on the scale of a car, because like I've seen a shit ton of YouTube videos of lithium ion batteries of electronic vehicles and stuff, and that shit's scary. Like a lot of fire departments won't even bother putting it out anymore. As long they'll make sure the fire doesn't spread, but it's a waste of water. It's legitimately a waste of water to try to put out a lithium ion battery fire, because you can pour all the water on it, it's still going to burn. Okay, I have opinions on this one. Majority of Democrats want Hunter prosecuted for contempt. Harvard Harris polls find. So, no shit. Like his little stunt of giving a press talk across the street from the congressional hearing that he was summoned to is not exactly good optics for Democrats. And I knew this was how it was going to pan out, in that his little stunt and all the shit he's done, even before that, like all the shit he does, but to slap in the face of quote unquote the democratic process right into the lead up of the 2024 election cycle and stuff is really bad optics. I mean, like, really, like, toxic optics for the Democrats right now. And even the Democrats are just like, okay, the Bidens are pretty much going to kill. Like, the Bidens are pretty much going to kill the Democrats' chance, snowball's chance in hell of winning the election, unless they do a monumental, like, 2020 level amount of election fraud. Unless they do that level of election fraud, which will be under a microscope this time around. The Bidens are going to kill the Democrats this election this cycle, just because of how, like, Sleepy Joe, the economy, the Swiss cheese border, and all that stuff. But Hunter Biden's not helping their case, and this is like kind of like pissing in their cornflakes of how brazen and how bad this makes. He's being with them and making them look bad and stuff. And I find this utterly hilarious. So keep an eye on the continued antics and adventures of Hunter Biden, because he is going to be brought up all the goddamn time for every Republican and independent read Kennedy. Like, the Republicans and Kennedy are going to be bringing this guy up left, right, and center throughout the entirety of the election cycle, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. Okay, this okay. As this kind of pisses me off. Turkey uses Sweden's NATO bid as leverage in international deals. Now, I knew that Turkey was going to kick the can down the road and string Sweden along for as long as humanly possible. Turkey's approval of Sweden's NATO entry linked to the acquisition of U.S. F-16 jets and Canada lifting its arms embargo. Erdogan recent remarks. Ooh, sorry, reflux. Remarks suggest Turkey's parliamentary decision on Sweden's NATO bid is dependent on these international military agreements. The ongoing delay in Turkey's approval, despite initial signals of agreement, is influenced by broader geopolitical factors, including the situation in Gaza. I said it before and I'll say it again. The second greatest mistake of NATO, other than continuing to exist after 1991, was letting in Turkey to begin with. Speaking of millstones, the Democrat millstone that is the immigrant crisis and Hunter Biden and all that shit and stuff. This is NATO's millstone. NATO's millstone is literally Turkey. Like this guy's mug is the millstone that's around NATO's neck. And I say, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, fuck NATO in its entirety. But the fact of the matter is that this shit is continuing to be a thorn in his side. Will never cease to be amusing to me. In the column, Mr. Biden say you pass this from Parliament, and I'll get F-16 sale passed from Congress. He claims, and blah blah blah. Like everyone and their dog is trying to make promises to this dictator, just to let Sweden in. This is not going to end anytime soon, but I just find it amusing. And I swear to God, I encountered a hump in that up until the last couple of streams, I had like mountains and mountains of news articles I felt like talking about, but now it's kind of just like not really much going on right now. Kind of just like a holding pattern. Turkey contributes so much military power as well as hard even for the U.S. to affect them. Yeah, well that's the thing. Turkey is one of the major spenders of NATO, and also the U.S. has a shit ton of military-based hardware, including nukes. They still have nukes in Turkey and stuff, so it's kind of just like it, Turkey. Turkey has NATO. Read the United States by the balls. It's kind of like asshole versus asshole in that either way, how it pans out, I'm just endlessly entertained. So there's that. So I got not much else to read. That, as I say, nothing. But I feel like playing Grim Dawn on stream. So fuck it. Ooh. Well, before I do that, I got my news feed updated, so see if there's anything that'll catch my interest. Nope. Nope. Okay. Nope. Dump 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 dump. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Ryan Gosling has reportedly met with Marvel for Marvel Cinematic Universe role. Oh no. Wakanda is real. I don't know if they're going to go that far. Development. Well, until they say what exactly part or movie he's going to be in, kind of just like, okay, I really want I want Wakanda to be real, but uh, rumored to be Doctor Doom. Eh, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really see him as Victor Von Doom. I could see him being a good Ghost Rider. Literally me superhero. uh, waffling about. Okay, we should probably keep an eye on this for the sake of Wakanda, Wakanda. I want it to be real. YouTube Studio. Toot. Bean. Bean. I think audio should be fine. I don't know. You guys would pipe up if it's too low or dry. Oh, God. Butter. I can neither confirm nor deny that I may have lost the filling, and now one of my teeth is super sensitive to cold. Unfortunately, the nearest dentist appointment I can go in for a checkup is February. Doesn't hurt, but it's a little sensitive. Hopefully, I can get in sooner and get patched up if it was, in fact, a filling that fell out. I suddenly have a big ass hole inside of one of my teeth. And I distinctly remember crunching on something. So I think a filling fell out, but we'd have to double check my records. I'm kind of hoping it is the case and stuff because the dentist I see is actually pretty good. They'll redo fillings. They'll redo their fillings if shit goes sideways, which is nice. Yeah, so what are you guys up to? My game profile. Oh, what is Empraise saying? Oh god, she's on. Oh god, Empraise is on team jollification. No. Where am I gonna stick my map? Cover up Discord. If anyone wants to come on and chit chat, just wait and ping me because I don't have a Discord on screen. Yeah, just ping me. I'm just in the waiting room. You're placing Kang, I see. Oh god. Oh, I don't think I did talk about Kang. Whatever. So, like, for those who don't know, yet another Marvel actor, or just like a cape shit actor in general, has been let go because of having a rap sheet. And unfortunately, he doesn't have the he didn't sell his soul to Satan like Ezra did, who could just continue to skate on by uh, through every single goddamn fucking shit that he does. Uh, sadly, Kang won't be part of White Honda. Gotta be a better way I can just lay up. Do. Yeah, that can work. Kang status, we was no more. Or I forget, I should probably add Add the Ryan Gosling to the list of articles. For the sake of due diligence. Use link. Paste. There. I will stand in the ethereal jizz. Sigma, you haven't been on before. Do you have Wikidog's pathological inclination of not voice doxing yourself? That's the link. Make fighting noises. Uh-huh. Okay, that's fair. Maybe you went live. Oh, no. Still? I miss Grim Internals. Grim Internals was a mod. I didn't really care much for any of the tweaks that the Grim Internals did, but one of the things I liked, it had auto loot for up to green items. Of course, in the base game, you can't auto loot, you know, gear. You can auto loot, you know, like money and components and shit like that there. But as far as actual items, you can't auto loot. I miss that because I'm a lazy bastard. I am legitimately trying to think of something I can chit chat about and stuff, but unfortunately, I'm not a gay British man who likes the sound of his own voice, so it doesn't come natural to me. Just endlessly blather on about shit no one cares about. I think I remember seeing Emprey saying she just had her last exam. So after the holidays, I'm gonna have to pin her down for another stream, either to watch Godzilla or chit chat about science and life again. Gonna sit her down and make her watch Godzilla -1. Actually, I'm gonna have to wait until a better copy comes out because I can't copy shit. Oh god, I can't copy shit. A rover rescue, side quest, base. Oh. How about this? Where in the alignment chart would you put each member you have interacted with and yourself for that matter? I am chaotic neutral. Booney can go fuck himself. Chaotic neutral is legitimate character alignment. Actually, funny thing with D&D character alignments, I remember reading when the 5th edition came out that they got rid of some of the more problematic character alignments and stuff, and they can go fuck themselves. I am chaotic neutral, always have been, always will be. As far as other people goes, unfortunately, I would have to place a lot of people under chaotic neutral in the insane thing. Me, I'm just the sociopath, but I have to put a few people in chaotic neutral just because, you know, that's the literally insane character alignment. Honestly, the best I can see for a lot of people would be neutral good. Neutral good is probably the best anyone on the virtual asylum can be, and that's being generous. Any lawfuls? No, because we're a bunch of chaotic. We're a chaotic bunch, so it's almost like a requirement. Like it's a class requirement to be a member on the virtual asylum, to be chaotic only, and lawfuls need not apply. It's like the inverse paladin. Everyone has to select barbarian, a barbarian character class. You have to be chaotic. Otherwise, actually, it does. The bell curve does pan out in that the lion's share of members on the forums are just lurkers. Like most accounts don't post or anything, because I imagine there's a shit ton of lurk accounts for VTubers who are smart enough not to actually post. So credit where credit is due, and some people actually read the OPSEC and you read. Who is my pick for chaotic evil? Uh, well, no, Nolan, obviously, but he's not part of the forum anymore. I know. Well, I guess by that logic, Spanner's out of the running too because he got Sherwood, or he got Sherwood too. So by that logic, he's not in the running either. So who remains on the forum to be chaotic evil? Uh, I forget. Is Takodachi banned? I would probably label Takodachi as chaotic evil. Don't get me wrong, he's entertainingly chaotic evil, but you know, I will call a spade a spade. He's back? Okay. I'm not surprised. Because I remember pretty much everyone who Proctor Tard raged at eventually came back once Proctor got you know, smacked around a bit. Yeah, here's my thing. I don't really read a lot of the threads anymore. Like I'll just pop in whenever I'm bored to like General or Pippa if she's streaming. But then again, I have Pippa on the VOD rotation because I go to sleep early nowadays. So I can't exactly watch Pippa live anymore. So I don't go to the Pippa thread much, and as far as General goes, it's just whenever I have the itch to see what's going on. But even then, I tend to get most of my information now just from browsing Proctor's Discord server. That's where I get most of my news nowadays and stuff as far as what's going on with the forum. Because anyone who's chatty in general tends to be chatty in the Discord. So that's usually good enough for me. And also, I tend to focus more on Proctor's Discord because Sigma will repost Empraise, not Empraise, M's. Forgive me, M. You both start with E. You have EM. Your first two letters are EM. But Sigma will repost M's art and stuff, so I usually pay attention to the Discord main channel for the repost because I can't be bothered to pay attention to M's notifications of typing in chat to notify people that she's changed her handle to the you know, the catbox links. I love revealing the entirety of the map. I just reread your message, Porian. The no, he's back. I just reread that for a second, and it registered in my head of no, he's black. It's like I know this. What else is term? Save. Cavern, Devotion Shrine. Save. And my point. Give me your quest. Now die. Let's see. Sacrifice. Complete. One shot chest. Isaac stash. Check. Okay. I was just looking at my RSS feed and got a couple of updates. Pause in the game. Pause game. Open up feed. Capture back to Brave.